Chodesh Tov, everyone, and we are in the middle of the Haomer, IYAAR, where we're working hopefully on our character traits, or at least paying more attention at what we need to do. And the focus, obviously, if one is married especially, is to focus on one's marriage and the relationship one has with his wife. It is the most difficult area and where the process takes the longest in many ways. The same way we go out of Egypt, it takes 50 days to be married to God. As Chazal explains, that those 7 weeks correspond to the days of Nida, 7 days, and then we have same thing with our spouse, the 7 days of Nida before we actually become one with God. And we describe our relation with God as husband and wife, and Shavuot is the wedding. That's how the Zohar explains it. So, in many ways, we should look at those 49 days or those 49 steps to marry one's wife again, so to speak. Just like we do the same thing every year with Hashem, with the Torah. Something, we're going to go out of Egypt. Going out of Egypt means going out of my ego, going out of my personal limitation, going out of my selfish world, and allowing myself to enter my wife's world, allowing my wife to enter my world, and seeing that I'm in my relationship, I'm in Egypt. My wife is the one that takes me out of Egypt, right? The Shekhinah, the divine presence, is the wife, so to speak, that takes us out of Egypt. The wife is the Merkava for the Shekhinah. You want to go out of Egypt, you want to reach Har Sinai, you need your wife. So the challenge, as I always like to put it, is we need to shift our mind. Everything you do during your day has to be revolved around being focused on my marriage. Am I a good husband? Am I working on my marriage? Is my wife happy? Does my wife feel loved by me? Most men don't want to face it or ask the question. And doubts come and say, oh, I don't know if I married the right woman. I don't know if she's right for me. She's so different. Well, yeah, women will always be so different for every man. There's always similarities, but there's always much more differences. And it's meant to be that way. How are you going to marry God, who is much more different than your wife, if you cannot even marry a wife who is different than you, right? So that's the challenge. So we need to learn to love our wife and appreciate our wife. Take the month of IYAAR as an opportunity to leave your Egypt, right? And to be free from your own selfish ego and enter the world of your wife and give her the love and the attention that she needs. And we as men, we have to be the initiator. We have to be the ones that go out and say, okay, what can I do for you? How can I make you feel more loved? What do you want from me? And listen and apply it. Try to live it. Commit to work on that. We men, we have a tendency to feel, really like, I feel like I wouldn't need to be married to my wife. I can do without her. I'll be happier even without her because, she's complaining, or she's, always in a bad mood, or she's, and on some level, yeah, you could be free of being with a woman, and you might think you'll be much more happy. But the truth is, you'll be happy, yeah, as an individual, solitary, single guy. Yeah, it's very easy to be happy when you're single. But you will never achieve true love. You will never be able to be a real man. A real man is someone who is able to build a home You cannot build your home without your wife. There's no such a thing as a home without a wife. The wife is the home. There's not such a thing as having kids without your wife. You cannot be a father, and you can't be a husband, and you cannot be a real man without a wife. This is the Talmud, right? So the moment we think I can do it without my wife, I'm already delusional. My ego is blinding myself. I have to be clear that anything I can be as a man, as a husband, as a father, who gives you the title of husband, of real man, of father? Your wife. Even your kids, they're nothing without your wife, because you give a little seed, but you cannot even make them Jewish. It's your wife who makes them Jewish. So we have to realize that as much as we think that we're on a much higher level than a wife, or much better than a wife, or that we don't need our wife, or I'll be better without her, it's an illusion. That's the IYAAR. The wife gives you everything that you need, and she's designed by God. There's no mistake. She's designed by God especially for you, and to trigger you on all the places that you need to work on. So doesn't mean she's always right, but most of the time she's gonna be right. So you won't know if she's right or wrong. But the truth is, the moment you're gonna be a true lover, she's gonna change. But you gotta be a true lover. It's not gonna happen overnight. Be a true lover, a real lover, for a few months, a few years, and let's see how she becomes. But you will see that, I know from experience, that this is how it works. So I encourage every one of you to work very hard during the month of IYAAR to be a real husband, to learn to see the good in your wife, to learn to appreciate, to be grateful for your spouse. Thank Hashem for being able to be married. How many people are crying their eyes and soul out because they're not even married? If you are married, you're luckier than you're so lucky. It's a gift. So don't lose that gift. You might lose the gift if you don't cherish it. So we all have to work very hard on it, and now it's a good time, month of IYAAR, which is a time of Ve'afta l'reacha kamocha, which applies to your spouse also. Right? Rabbi Akiva was teaching that the student Rabbi Akiva, you will not have Torah, you cannot even trust a rabbi with his Torah if he doesn't have a wife. It's dangerous, because it can be a selfish Torah, so to speak. It's not going to be completely pure. Not saying someone who was married once, or who the wife passed away or something. Saying if you were never married, you have to understand, this is according to Ramak, you're not allowed to learn Kabbalah before you're married. According to the Arizal also, the wife is what, although you might think she doesn't give it to you, she's the one that hiddenly, in a hidden way, gives you the power in your soul, who gives you the ability to understand Torah on a high level, the one that gives you the ability to be holy and come close to God. Plus, she protects you from Zera Levatala, from running around like a male soul looking for girls and watching inappropriate stuff. We don't realize how much our wife does for us. But if we don't appreciate the gift, right? And don't get me wrong, you don't get to love your wife in a second. We see all those movies, those American style type of thing. Oh, you're gonna love her right away, and you're passionate. No. This is very rare. There are certain people who might have finished already working on it in the previous life, so now they have it easy to be passionate with their wife. But says the Chazal, I forgot the source, but I have it. The Chazal say that when you actually work hard, when you see that the relationship is intense and it's difficult, it's a sign that she's your real soulmate. Because if it's difficult, that means you have a lot of character traits you still need to work on, because otherwise you won't be able to handle it properly. If you had perfect character traits, the fact that it's so difficult, that means there's so many things you still need to work on. And we all need therapy. We all need to work on. We're all in a broken world with broken heart, with trauma, and we need to all work. You need to have a Rebbe, or you need to have a therapist, or you need to have a social worker. You need to have someone that guides you in marriage and helps you love her. You go to seminaries, you go to workshop, retreats, whatever, but you need guidance and someone that pushes you, coaches you to improve and to be better. And it's constant work. So make sure you realize that, and that it's going to take many years till you actually feel true love, and until you're really going to get to appreciate your wife and truly love your wife. I will say that it took me, there was way ups and downs, but to really start really appreciating my wife for who she was, it took me 15 years. So that's when you start feeling the love. It's not a love based on just the emotions, like, oh, I'm in love with you. It's love like, wow, look what we have built together. We have built a family, a kingdom, a mamlechet kohanim begar kadosh, kids and friends, a community and atmosphere, a home where it's about growth, it's about connecting to God, it's about creating love, it's about respect, it's about peace, it's about work on oneself. That's your true kingdom. That's what's going to be your real olam haba. All the rest, all the fun, all the work, all the money, all the this, that doesn't go into olam haba. The main work comes with you in olam haba. The main hotel you're going to get is the hotel of love. 7 levels of love. 7 levels of heaven. So which level of love do you want to be at in heaven, right? You want to go on vacation in a 1-star or 7-star? Well, depends on the wife how much love you give to your wife, how much you have loved your wife in this world. So put all your strength into it, because that's all what there is, all that there is. So hatzlacha to everyone. It's all here to encourage you, not to discourage you. The hayom katzer ve'menacha meruba. The day is short, and menacha, the work is big and great to do. So let's not lose time. Go today to your wife, say, what do I need to do for you to feel more loved by me? What it is that you need more from me? Sometimes she wants you to spend more time with her, to speak nicely to her, to give her more compliments, to show appreciation, to have more sex with her, to help her more in acts of service, acts in the house, participate more. Ask her what it is that she wants from you the most, and then give it to her. That's all what there is. All right, hatzlacha on this month of IYAAR. If you're successful, you can make a big fire on Lag BaOmer and celebrate Ve'afta l'reacha kamocha, starting with your wife. All right, love you all, and may Hashem be with you.